Luke Thomas recently talked about an intriguing scenario that could influence the future of the lightweight and welterweight divisions. If Islam Makhachev were to advance to 170 pounds due to Jack Della's victory over Belal Muhammad, we might witness an interim lightweight title fight in which Justin Gaethje would challenge Ilia Topuria for the title. Luke suggests that if this scenario materializes, Ilia might be well positioned for a huge opportunity at lightweight, and his decision to move up would make sense in retrospect. Rather than being criticized for giving up his featherweight title, he might be praised for taking advantage of a better opportunity by moving up to 155 pounds. If he wins the lightweight title, it would definitely justify his decision to give up the featherweight title, which would completely turn the narrative on its head. The entire MMA world is eager to see this fight, so what do you think will ever happen? What are your predictions? Comment below.
Let's say Jack Della Maddalena goes in there and beats Belal Muhammad. Well, then it kind of opens up the door to Islam going up to 170. And if Islam goes to 170, they could do an interim title for, this is the scenario that was posited to me, Justin Gaethje for an interim title, or even the full lightweight title if they make Islam drop it, against Ilia. Well, okay, if you're Ilia, did you need to fight Volk again if you're just going to get a 55 title fight against Gaethje, which I think I would favor Ilia to win that one? You know what I mean? So that's, if that happens, well then no, it was not much of a mistake, I suppose. And also the other part too is like, I don't get the vibe that Ilia, he says this and just the way he's acting, it's true. I don't get the vibe he's going to do this for very long, man. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'd be surprised if he's still fighting at 36. I'll put it that way.
Why? What is it about? What do you think? Is it just for the fact that he doesn't need the money? He's got, you know, like this is more of a...
Yeah, I mean, everything he's following the Conor McGregor path, just not with the crime and the awful behavior, you know, like...
A possible confrontation between Leon Edwards and Jorge Masvidal was explored by Paul Felder and Michael Bisping, who both felt it made a lot of sense. Felder identified the obvious spark. Fans still remember the notorious three-piece and a EY Coke incident, and Leon might need that kind of inspiration after losing the crown. Masvidal, who is mainly a striker and hasn't played much, gives Edwards a matchup that is both winnable and significant. Felder underlined that rankings aren't always important. Sometimes it's about the passion a fight ignites within you. If someone sucker punches you backstage, what else will do the trick? Given that both Masvidal and Leon are currently on losing streaks, and that there have been numerous rumors of them fighting, this clash seems more realistic than ever. Bisping argued that resolving an old grudge is the best method for Edwards to recover from difficult defeats to elite opponents. Not only would defeating Masvidal feel good, but it may also boost Leon's self-esteem and serve as a reminder of his true self to the world.
I think it makes sense for both guys. There's beef there, they hate each other. There was already a three-piece and a soda in the back in London years ago on when Darren Till fought Jorge. And Leon, he needs a fight that he can get motivated for. And if this guy that basically punched you in the face in the backstage area isn't that guy, and he's primarily a striker, somebody that's going to stand up with you who hasn't been active in a while. I know he's high up in the rankings, but I think this is a case where you put all that away and you just go and have a fight that gets you hyped up.
Agree with everything you said. I'm a fan of Masvidal. I'm an admirer. I love the attitude. I love everything he brings to the table. You know, even the three-piece in the soda, that's just who he is, you know, and It's been well documented over the years. I had some run-ins as well. He is that guy. He's not a fake. He's not, for want of a better description, a Colby Covington, like we were saying before, right? And I'm not trying to start shit with Colby.
The tension reached a breaking point on a recent episode of Good Guy, Bad Guy, when former two-division UFC champion Daniel Cormier narrowly avoided violence in a heated altercation with a former heavyweight fighter who is now a wrestling teacher. DC described the specifics of the altercation and how, in his opinion, things got out of hand. When the coach first began acting aggressively toward him, DC originally tried to ignore it, but things continued to get worse until he was at his breaking point. He made it clear that he wasn't going to back down by approaching the coach and threatening to beat him up. DC talked candidly about the entire encounter, showing how almost a physical altercation broke out. This is how it transpired.
It's happened to me quite a bit recently. I was at a tournament in Clovis. One of the other coaches goes into the wrestling room, sees the boys in there. He's mad. He throws them out. I go to him and I say, hey man, what happened? Dude starts, he got mad at me. A big guy, though, chill. This guy's got to be 300 pounds. He wants to beat my
But you don't
butt.
know him. You don't know who this is.
I've never met this guy a day in my life. So then we're walking between the gyms. I'm walking one direction. He's coming in the other direction with the old coach. Comes up to me again and says, "This dude keeps staring at me." Chill, at this point, I've lost it. And I was staring him down, Chill.
Oh my goodness.
I mean,
were you?
I'm walking this
Were
way.
you?
Chill. It's almost impossible for us not to make eye contact. So we come together at the door. And this guy goes, "This guy keeps staring at me." And finally, I'm done, Chill. I've had enough. So I go up to him. And I said, "Everybody wants to be a tough guy until you got to do real tough guy stuff." So I go, "You're only doing this because you know I cannot do to you what I want to do to you." I'm leaving in. I'm pissed. I go, "I want to hey, I want to kick his butt." He goes, "Well, you're going to try." He said, "You're going to try." He said, "You're going to try to beat Chael." I thought to myself, this guy has to be a police officer because the only way he would treat me this way is to know I can't put my hands on him.
Absolutely.
One of the top featherweight contenders, Zabit Magomedsharipov, has been criticized for maybe making a comeback to the UFC. Following 6 straight victories over well-known opponents like Jeremy Stevens and Calvin Kattar, Zabit left fans wondering just how great he could have become. However, his exit from the octagon has left many questions unanswered, particularly as time goes on and new contenders emerge in the featherweight division. At 34 years old, many fight fans still hope that Zabit will return to show off the skill. That made him one of the sport's most talked about prospects, and while rumors of a comeback are common, his most recent gym footage has stoked speculation. If he were to return, Magomedsharipov would probably take on the best featherweights in the category, but Kevin Vallejo is one fighter who isn't afraid to welcome him back. After launching his UFC career with his 11th knockout victory, Vallejo was eager to take a shot. In the octagon, Zabit was a true monster. The man's speed, accuracy, and inventiveness were unparalleled. From his spinning back kick to his head kicks to his body kicks, his kicks were not only lightning fast but lethal as well. Zab could strike you from unexpected angles, making it difficult for opponents to respond. He was one of the division's most dangerous and unexpected fighters because of the almost unbelievable